Hey Sagittarians, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be taking a look at your first half of October general reading here. So in your meditation, really powerful. The first thing that I want to say to you before I get into exactly what I saw is that we have the full moon in Aries on October 9th. And that, you in particular, out of all the signs, you have a direct connection and opportunity to that full moon in Aries. Now, I know it's a fellow fire sign, so it makes sense, but for some reason, you have a particular opportunity on that full moon to connect with it and manifest from it. Traditionally, we manifest with the new moon and then we receive those manifestations with the full moon cycle. But for you, it feels like it's a bit, trust Sagittarius to do their own thing. But it does feel like there's an opportunity here with that full moon to align with it in a specific way, to manifest new things. So what I saw in the meditation was a huge bonfire, right? Out in the open, in the dark, in the night, huge bonfire. Then I saw the image of a fairy, but it wasn't like a fairy flying around with wings. It was like an actual size of like a human, like fairy. And, blue skin and pointy ears and the whole thing. And I saw it kind of walk up to this fire and I saw it writing things down on scraps of paper and then throwing them into the fire. Writing something down on a scrap of paper and then throwing it into the fire, which is interesting because usually that speaks to me of like a fire release ceremony where you write down things that you want to be free from and put them in the fire. But this felt like everything feels like opposite day a bit with this, where it was like writing down what you wanted transformed, writing down what you wanted, and then letting the fire manifest it for you. Instead of getting rid of it or killing it off or releasing it, it was like manifesting through fire. Really interesting, right? It's a new one. I also, with this fairy, fairy in terms of lore and that energy is that if you're at all familiar, is that fairies are able to manifest whatever they want just by just a thought and then it's there. Like, oh, I want, some water. Oh, here we go. I'm holding a glass of water. I want a blanket. Oh, I got a blanket, right? So there's that sense of immediate manifestation. Now think about that. Let's think about that. If we were able to manifest from that place, let's just go here, right? If we were able to manifest from that place, we would never have any sort of lack thinking. We would never think oh, what if I run out of this? What if I don't have enough money for this? What if that doesn't line up? Oh my God, I got to make sure I have enough of this because if I run out, I don't know when I'll have it again, whatever it is. There feels like there's a potential that is linking you up to this full moon in Aries that says, maybe adopt a magic as if approach of if I truly believe that I was able to manifest with ease what I desire, what would I ask for, and then expect it to come to you. Maybe not in that exact same form, but set an intention like something this or better, right? That's what we say when we manifest, right? Something this or better. Within divine timing for the highest good of all, if you want the whole the whole speech there. But it does feel like at the forefront of your experience is an opportunity to manifest in a different way and to have different results. But it feels like effortless manifesting, but then being open to how it shows up for you. It feels really powerful, really powerful. So I'm liking it. Let's go ahead and see what your cards say. Hey Sagittarius, let's go ahead and see what your animal energy is for the first half of October. Oh, 2 for 1. I am so here for this. First of all, okay, let's start with the dragon. This is brilliant for you. First of all, this is the sign of spirit, so this does have the, effect or feeling of being a major arcana, which says this is a significant point or a significant time period for you. But dragon energy is all about fire. Hello. But also the dragon equates energetically to the justice key in the tarot, which is Libra energy. And what are we talking about? Libra season, the first half of October. Ooh, I told you there's something about this time for you, Sagittarius. It feels quite apt with potential and power, right? It feels like it's supercharged. You know, dragon energy is also about seeing yourself and others quite clearly, right? Remember how we talked to, and man, dragon energy, fae energy, it's really here for you. I feel like this is a call to really consider, like, you know, how you've been manifesting, what's your belief system around getting what you desire? Are you asking for happiness, or are you asking for specific things? How do they relate? Because sometimes when we ask for specific things, we get them and then we're not happy. Whereas if we asked to be happy, right, with some suggestions on how that might take form, right, it can be a very different result. So I feel like you're being called to check in with how you manifest, and what you actually expect out of that, what your experience has been around that. It feels important for you, okay? Now, you also have the bee energy here, which I'm so here for. So bee energy is Three of Pentacles energy, which speaks of, you know, you and the work that you do that nobody else can do quite like you. It's the master artisan key in the tarot, right? But this also speaks of a certain sense of collaboration, right? With this bee energy here, of either the work that you do positively affecting or benefiting others. You could be in the service industry or in a line of work that other people benefit from the work that you do, or you're working with a group of people that are here to promote and uplift, and it's a team effort, so to speak. But there really is this very much about the work that you do, and also, your relationship. Hello. There we go. Your relationship to your community and, those around you. So this just feels, this feels amazing, Sagittarius. It really, really does. Let's see what's going on. Ooh. Oh, really? Oh, I'm so here for this. Just looking at all these animals. So 7 of Cups here. Interesting. So 7 of Cups. Do you see how this guy has like the full moon in a cup? I'm telling you, full moon in Aries. For you. 7 of Cups is very much about high optionality, right? It's about having a lot of different choices without necessarily settling on one. And these are all this man's choices here in these cups here in this hot air balloon. But the hot air balloon can't really get fully off the ground until he cuts loose some of these, options or choices or thought patterns that aren't the one that he really wants. The moon is the one that he really wants. That's why he's holding it, but he's unwilling to cut the tether to these other cups here, because he's like, but what if this isn't the best one or the right one? Or I want to keep my options open, right? Mr. I want to keep my options open. Bye. The other aspect with this as well is whenever this comes up, I had a tarot teacher once that always said that whenever she got the 7 of Cups, to her, this was, a dream deferred key, a dream deferred, which is putting what you really want, your big dreams, on the back burner and never really fully realizing them for whatever reason, right? What do you really want, Sagittarius? What do you really want? What do you think is impossible for you? And then imagine yourself having access to that fae energy and that manifesting fire potential. And really, really get clear on what that could, if time and money were no object, if the past wasn't prologue, what do you really want? Sometimes when we have issues around this and what we really want is on the back burner or in the distance, or we've convinced ourselves that it's impossible or not probable, or for some not smart quote or whatever it is, it can be tied to, a lack of self-confidence or issues around self-worth. Maybe just look to your past, maybe even your childhood, for information around that, a clue around that. All right. So here we have the 3 of Swords. Okay. So the 3 of Swords, this is really brilliant actually in this context, because this speaks of heart pain that stems from the past, right? Heart pain that stems from the past. This is the Edgar Allan Poe tarot, by the way. And so if you're familiar with this current story of the guy who gets buried underneath the floorboards, and then it's like they can hear the guilty party hears the heart beating through the floor, and it's, you know, that past that won't be denied or ignored, right? You know, we were just talking about self-worth and you know, issues around, you know, confidence, and I really feel like this is coming up for you. I do feel like there are aspects of either your past or how you see yourself and your own potential that is restricting you or informing your choices in some way. And you're being asked to really, really consider that. Bring it up from the floorboards. Really take a look at, you know, why might I feel like I'm not worthy or capable of manifesting like a fae would with the snap of my fingers, and of course I'm going to have it, or I'm going to have something better than that, right? You know, there's also a heart here in one of these cups. I do feel like there's something, this could even be failure in the, quote, failure from the past that's affecting you, or choices that you made that maybe didn't work out the way that you wanted. And so now your own trust in your choice making ability isn't as strong. The reality is, someone told me this once. I was getting a reading in Lilydale, my favorite place on earth, from a medium, and he had said to me, and this really stuck with me, and I'm hearing it for you, there's really no right or wrong. You can only do the best that you can do with the information that you have available to you at the time. And if it doesn't work out, it's not that you were wrong, it's that it was a lesson. And I know that seems a bit like, oh, well, that's convenient theories for you monthly, thank you. But it's really more about understanding that if we hedge our bets to the point that we're afraid of making the wrong one, or making a wrong turn, or having things turn out like they did in the past that affects us, that we don't like to look back on, or that hurt us, it impedes the potential of our future, right? Past is not prologue. That feels like a huge message here for you. Past is not prologue. Oh, wow, Sagittarius. 5 of Swords. So 5, number of change. You know, I'm noticing that we have all odd numbers here. Something about that. You know, 5 of Swords, this is really something else. So this is when we or others around us are acting in, you know, in a disservice to ourselves or others, right? This is when, you know, the integrity is not necessarily at play. But I really feel like in this particular context, traditionally I kind of look at 7 of Swords as more of like a self-sabotage thing. But I feel like this 5 of Swords is, you know, how others have affected you, or the past has affected you to the point where it is impeding your ability to have the confidence that you need to move forward and manifest and really achieve a life that you deserve to experience. It really feels like there are certain things that are getting in your way. And I do feel like a part of this is that you are overthinking something to the point of not just analysis paralysis, but it's like you're overthinking to the point of inaction. You're overthinking to the point of, you know, getting in your own way and worrying about things that, you know, are really left over from the past that have no place in your future. You know, I get this very distinct feeling of like, you know, well, how can I not be affected by like what's happened, or how can I not worry about things not working out, or how can I, you know, cast a blind eye, because he's missing an eye here. How can I cast a blind eye to the things in my experience before this that left me in pieces, right? But you're not being asked to cast a blind eye. You're rather being invited, with this eye here with the dragon here as well. You're being invited to shift the script, right? And experience a different reality moving forward, not because you are willing yourself to do so, but because you're choosing to believe that you are worthy of doing so. I feel like this bee is coming in here to say you have some important work to do that others are going to benefit from. So don't cut yourself off at the heels there by limiting yourself and thinking that you are not here to help leave your piece of the world better than how you found it, right? Throw it in the fire. Throw it in the fire, right? And manifest from that place. That is really, really, I don't know if you've ever done a fire ceremony or been a part of one, but it can be a very powerful experience. And I'm really hearing, I would say even to you, Sagittarius, do a little bit of homework around this. Research fire ceremonies if you're not familiar. And really, because sometimes, even, listen, it's not about if the ceremony itself has some, magic power that creates, the whatever ABC XYZ for you because you did the ceremony. It's really about what it does for you. And you can even argue that it's a placebo effect if you're not, more spiritually inclined, right? Either way, the act of doing it, the act of having that experience can shift your energy and your thought forms moving forward and align you with potentials that are not being restricted by the past and by your own pain, okay? Self-perceived limitations as well. Let's get some advice. Did you see that? And did you see how the Seven of Swords just flipped crosswise over the Five of Swords? Did you see that? And what did we say? Traditionally, I self-sabotage is more Seven of Swords. Okay. Whew. The fact that this is coming up as your advice is really a moment. This is saying get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. Really be honest with yourself about the ways in which you self-sabotage or expect the worst or don't, expect that things are going to go in a way that you actually deserve and are worthy of. Is there a part of you that is comforted when things don't go well because part of you is validated that you were right? If I feel like things are not going to go my way and then they don't, what do I get out of that? The smug satisfaction that, I told you. I didn't think things were going to go well and then they didn't. See, at least I was right. Maybe take a look at that side, whatever your version of that is. If that's not it, for you, something that is, your version of that, right? Let's flip it, because the devastation that comes as a result of believing that everything is going to go like you want it to and then having it go the complete opposite way, that can be incredibly painful. And so sometimes we protect ourselves from potential, pain by, expecting the worst, hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. This is not serving you. It doesn't serve anyone, but it's really coming up for you. I'm telling you, full moon in Aries. Aries is really about being your own boss, stepping into that emperor, energy. And really looking at your life through the lens of how can I optimize my reality from a place of I know whatever I put my mind to, I will get benefit from. But Seven of Swords is of the mind, and this is about the ways in which we self-sabotage, get in our own way, and are limited by our self-perceived limitations, right? It's enough. It's enough. You can move right on out of this, right? But it's also about being aware of what that is, turning that dragon's eye in on yourself. Maybe that's part of what your, full moon ceremony can be about. Opening up your own awareness of the ways in which you are limiting or inhibiting yourself and your potential, right? Let's get an oracle. An oracle for Sagittarius. Ooh. Oh, I'm so happy this came out, Sagittarius. It's like a beautiful tonic for the end of your reading. So, Soar. This is so stunning. So this is very much what it looks like in this deck. This is very much allowing yourself to be free from the, ties that bind and allowing yourself to soar off into your highest potential. This is becoming unencumbered from everything that could hold you back and not limiting yourself and allowing yourself the freedom to expect good things. Okay? This is really, really beautiful, Sagittarius. It does feel a bit prescriptive, but it feels like it's just the thing. It feels like just the tonic for you. And if you're able to do this and really give some thought and energy to this going on within you, really turn that dragon's eye inward from a place of self-awareness, right? Then you're going to be soaring. It's so beautiful because there's a very big difference between this soaring above it all and then all of this. Look, can't get off the ground, right? To soaring. And then two creatures that are winged here as well. Really, really beautiful, Sagittarius. That being said, I'm sending you so many blessings for your first half of October. I so hope that this helped and resonated. If so, please let me know in the comments below. I love, love, love hearing from you. I'm a Sagittarius rising, and I've never met a Sagittarius that I did not just get along with, but wasn't completely obsessed with. So I feel a special kinship to you, my fiery friends. So holler at me in the comments. Let me know how you are. Please like, please share, please subscribe. I would so, so appreciate that. And with that being said, just thank you. Thank you so, so much for being here. And most of all, and as always, just thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.